Please join me in welcoming our next presenter, Judge Sheila Hanson of the Superior Court of Orange County. Judge Hanson is the chair of the Council's Information Technology Advisory Committee. We are so glad that she was able to make it here and join us this afternoon for this celebration. So please join me in welcoming Judge Hanson.
Good afternoon. I'm honored to be here today to recognize Snorri Ogata, the Chief Information Officer for the Superior Court of Los Angeles. Congratulations, Snorri, on receiving the Distinguished Service Award for your excellent work in improving access to justice through technology. We appreciate all of your work in so many different areas. You are truly a judicial branch technology leader. We also appreciate your work in encouraging collaboration among court information technology professionals. First, we would like to watch a video.
Snorri Ogata has spearheaded technology transformations in two of California's largest trial courts and is a national expert in court technology. As Chief Information Officer for the Superior Court of Los Angeles County, he led the launch of several innovative online services, including e-filing, self-scheduling appointments, and his online avatar, Gina, that allows users to manage traffic tickets online. Mr. Ogata serves on the Judicial Council's Information Technology Advisory Committee, which harnesses technology best practices to improve the administration of justice.
I've actually known Snorri for over 20 years before either of us joined the bench. And I didn't know much about his technology skills or whether he was actually any good at it. But what I did know is that Snorri cared about people, and he cared about public service. Back in those days, what he did was he spent his free time as a youth leader of his church. And I think it's fair to say he truly impacted a generation of our youth. But being who Snorri is, spending his spare time leading youth wasn't quite enough. So there was a time he actually moved into a local teen shelter, and it was a shelter for children in crisis. They were away from their homes, they were either runaways or they couldn't live at home. So he moved his young family there, and he was the house parent to guide these individuals day in and day out. I do remember when it was time for him to move on from that role, and it was his responsibility to find a new house parent. He was quite proud of the fact that he was able to use this new invention to find his replacement. It was the internet. In the technology field, he worked for Taco Bell. Again, I don't remember hearing any particular achievements that he had as it related to technology, but I do remember one of his proud moments at Taco Bell was the fact that he actually sat next to the Taco Bell Chihuahua in first class. So, back in those days, he also demonstrated a commitment to due process before coming to the court. Before Snorri became a chief information officer, he was actually known as Chief Thunderwolf of our local Indian Princess organization, which is a father-daughter organization if you're not familiar with Indian princesses. And for some reason, during that tenure, there was an effort by the National Association to expel Snorri from that group. So Snorri marshaled his resources. He had other fathers part of the organization. Some were judges, some were lawyers, and he made a very methodical presentation as to why he should really be placed on super secret probation and not expelled, and he was successful. I think what's important is that all of those young girls were able to graduate from that Indian Princess organization, and two of them are here today, Snorri, to congratulate you. I later had an opportunity to work with Snorri when he was the Chief Information Officer of Orange County Superior Court, where he helped establish Orange County as one of the most innovative courts in the state, where we still remain, and we are proud to help inspire you as you continue to try to meet our level. We'll continue to do that. And so I now work with Snorri through the Council's Information Technology Advisory Committee, of which he is a member. And I We are all very grateful for your contributions and your good work to the committee and many of its work streams. But from an ITAC perspective, Snorri has been critical in leading our e-filing work stream. He has led that project from the beginning. It has resulted in the adoption of technical standards that have been approved by the Judicial Council. He has formed and put together our e-filing deployment strategy. He has brought together a team of judicial staff that will continue to work on that project. And now he has most recently brought together the 3 vendors who will be the e-filing manager providers. Excellent work. Sherry Carter, who is the Chief Executive Officer from Los Angeles, could not be here today, but she wanted to make sure she made her presence known. And she wanted me to share a few thoughts that she had with you, Sherry. And for those of you who don't know, this is Sherry Carter. So she wanted to share that the past few years working with Snorri have been exciting, blur-filled with new and innovative systems, programs, and projects. Some of the accomplishments include the award-winning avatar-based traffic assistance program named Gina, online services like access to documents and self-scheduling appointments, and a new case management system, all while moving LA to a fully electronic environment. These have helped make significant contributions to fair and equal access to the public, including self-represented litigants, justice partners, and attorneys. He's earned an innovation grant of almost $1 million to create a justice partner and litigant portal, and he is using it as an opportunity to collaborate with other courts to hopefully make a solution that will be scalable for the state. Sherry also stated that Los Angeles could not have made such progress without Snorri's assistance and leadership in IT. And what she most respects about Snorri is his understanding of how IT fits into the business side of the court. He recognizes that automation is not just something that you work in a silo, but that it's important and it affects the entire court. Sherry also mentioned that throughout her professional career in both the federal and the state courts, she has never worked with such a dedicated, professional, and genuine CIO. Snorri serves on several boards and committees. I think Jeanette Van Noy of the Napa Superior Court summed it up very well by stating that Snorri's contributions have made a noticeable impact throughout his local court, branch-wide, and the entire nation, and that we are very fortunate to have his talent and compassion. Snorri, I am so proud of you. You have done so much work, and the work that you do helps the citizens of our state access justice on a daily basis. Please welcome me in awarding the award to Snorri Ogata.
Oh, gosh. You guys need to turn around. This is Sherry's revenge. I did this to her once. Okay, thank you, Sheila. Thank you, Chief Justice and the council members. I am honored and humbled to receive this award like my other recipients. I will be thanking a lot of people in this speech, so bear with me. But I do want to call out a few people in the very beginning. So Judge Kim Menninger is the person who 12 years ago got me interested in leaving the private sector and coming to join this public service arena called the court and the judiciary. And I thank you truly for that. I want to thank my parents, of course, who taught me to be curious, to be critical in thinking, and to be hardworking and dedicated in what we do. I want to thank, of course, my children because they make me laugh and hold me accountable to being a good person. And I want to thank my fiancée, Juliet, for uplifting and inspiring me and carrying me forward in my life today. Those who know me know that I'm kind of a spiritual guy, and I try to live my life by consistently through three principles, right? It's be just, be merciful, and be humble. So I'd like to share a few thoughts on these three principles in reverse order. So first, receiving this award is a humbling experience, and I truly believe that this award is not mine, but a shared recognition of the accomplishments of many people I have had the pleasure of working with. First, thank you to the three wonderful CEOs that I've worked with, Alan Slater and Alan Carlson of the Orange County Superior Court, and Sherry Carter, now in Los Angeles. I wish I had, where's the, Sherry, thank you. These three leaders all loved working in the courts and had visions for where we should be going, and then defining projects and programs to transform and simplify the administration of justice. I've also worked with several wonderful presiding judges who sparked a lot of creativity and innovation. Judges Horn, Stock, Dunning, Boris, and Saunders when I was in Orange County, and Judges Wesley Cool and now Judge Buckley in Los Angeles. So prior to joining the court, so you heard a little about my Taco Bell life, prior to the court, I spent 20 years in the private sector. And court governance is unlike anything that you can be trained on in the private sector. In addition to having a boss, a CEO, you end up having hundreds of other bosses who remind you of their authority over you on a daily basis. So thankfully, the courts do have lots of committees, and the tech committees at both Orange and Los Angeles counties had wonderful tech committee chairs that helped. They turned out to be invaluable partners in driving change with the bench. So thank you to Judges Moss and Hanson from Orange County and Judges Buckley, Justner, and Court from Los Angeles. So every artist needs a muse, and every hero needs a foil, and to the extent that I am either of these, my foils or muses have been Teresa Ricci and Denny Butler, who are both court operations leaders in Orange County and Los Angeles County, respectively. These two women and the incredible army of people they lead are where the magic really happens with technology. My job is to align the realities of court and the current and future technologies with the visions of the CEO and judges of the courts. This strategic visioning part of the job is fun and easy to me. The real magic, however, happens when the staff embrace the technical change being proposed, when they modify their practices and envision even better ways of refining the programs to make things happen. These two women are amazing in their abilities to align and lead and inspire their troops to execute against the vision, and more importantly, ensure that the projects and ideas that we are pursuing are done correctly. So of course, as a CIO, I don't actually do anything other than schmooze judges and executives. So the work gets done by an incredible technology staff that is dedicated and committed to keeping systems running and to make new projects a reality. There are too many people to mention here by name, but I do want to thank all of the staffs, the technology staffs in Orange and Los Angeles counties, for trusting my leadership as we executed the technology strategy to improve justice. Outside the courts, I've also had the pleasure to work with two groups of IT leaders who passionately care about the role that technology plays in the court. In California, the group is called CITMF. It's a group of about 30 or so technology leaders who have met quarterly for about 10 years now, I think. And we share ideas and experiences, we challenge each other's thinking, and try to drive change in our courts, in the state, and with the help of JCIT staff. But most importantly, what we built was a community. On the national level, the group is called CTALK. That group consists of about 100 CIOs from all over the country who are equally committed to improving justice through technology. They are smart and committed individuals. So if California is about implementing and thinking locally, the national group is truly about thinking globally, and that's what they do. To these CIOs at the state and national levels, I thank you for your friendships, your insights, and the ideas that I got to steal and take back to my court and claim as my latest great idea. So altogether, that's over 1,000 people to thank with whom I humbly share this award. We did this together. So very quickly, the next principle I try to live by is to be merciful. And here I want to thank the self-help resources at the court, the branch, the legal aid offices, in addition to the court leaders who champion work in these areas to expand access to justice. The work you do is so noble. Your compassion and advocacy for those that need assistance in navigating the justice system is no doubt fueled by your merciful and caring hearts. I thank you for reminding me often that sometimes you just have to be merciful and do the right thing. The last principle is about being just. At a professional level, I won the lottery. I am blessed to work in the job that I love. It gives me a purpose and passion to press on no matter what the obstacles are that I face. On my first day working at the court, I was summoned into the chambers of a judge and asked to swear an oath to uphold the constitutions of the United States and the state of California. And it was at that moment that I realized that I was no longer in the private sector seeking profits and growing shareholder value. I swore an oath to uphold justice. And it sounds a little bit corny, but it gets me choked up every time I think about it. What we do is so unique and so special, and I am so honored to be part of this community where my being just extends beyond me as an individual, but to society as a whole. So be just, be merciful, and be humble. I humbly accept this recognition on behalf of the 1,000 people with whom I've had the privilege of working these past 12 years, and I look forward to many more years to come. Thank you.